Ladies and gentle hams, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video we have a Warriors Den recap and a whole lot of shit went down last night. We got a whole bunch of stuff in the patch notes and Centurion kinda copped a lead pipe and Warlord, you know, they sort of nursed him back to health a little bit and there were a few other things that happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over all the other things that happened first and then we'll get into the hero balance changes after that. So first of all, Zone Flicker is apparently dead, okay? They apparently worked out what was causing it and they have fixed it. And on the other side of the coin, they said that they've gotten rid of most of the unlock techs as well, okay? They said there are still a few characters you can unlock tech with. There are still a few ways to do it, but apparently it's really hard to do now. That's still not going to stop people from doing it. Some people are very dedicated to cheesing the game, but for the most part, it seems like it's genuinely taken care of, which is a good thing, but we're going to have to see how much it is actually taken care of, because we know in the past they've said, hey, we fixed this, and it turns out they really haven't fixed much of it. So on the unlock text, we're going to have to wait and see, but at least they said they've gotten rid of Zone Flicker completely, so they're pretty damn sure about that, which is cool. Now they also fixed a bug where if you were to like guard break each other on stairs or something, it wasn't connecting, something along those lines. I've never had this happen to me, but apparently it was an issue and they have fixed that. So now if you guard break someone on stairs, you're going to be able to catch them. Now a neat little thing they've done in the 2v2 modes is they've basically just moved around the spawn points, okay? A lot of the maps in 2v2, you would spawn and it would pretty much just be one guy runs to the other guy and tries to 2v1 him before you run back after him and catch up to him. It was a load of shit and it was boring. So now they've moved it so both players will start pretty much next to each other, so you can have a proper brawl, okay? So you can run up and hit each other and do all that sort of stuff. It's not 2 1v1s anymore, and they've also tried to nerf how many ledges are in the game, okay? So for the majority of the maps, they've gotten rid of most of the ledges like they did in the 1v1s, but there are still a couple of ledges here and there for the people who like cheesing and being shit. But it's good to see them taking the time to go back and revisit these old maps and actually change them to make them, you know, better, which is always nice to see. Now they also fixed the host advantage situation where basically if you did something and the host did something at the same time, of course the host would always get it over you even if it was the same move. So now they've done it so if you two do something at the exact same time, I'm pretty sure you just hit each other with the move. I could be wrong about that, but that is sort of the general gist I got. So if you both do the exact same thing, you'll smack each other instead of one person getting it and you just get to eat the damage. But in doing that, they created a small Lawbringer issue where his sprint attack has some sort of bug on it. I couldn't quite understand what he was getting at there, but there is some weird thing that happens with the Lawbringer's sprint bug, so they tried to tweak the MS or something like that to correct it. Anyone knows more about that, please clarify down below. Now there was also a bug where chip damage was killing people when they were in revenge. So chip damage shouldn't kill people as far as they're concerned. So now if you had certain feats or if you had certain stats and stuff and revenge, you would be able to kill people with chip damage and that. Apparently they've gotten rid of all that and now chip damage won't be killing people as intended. And here is a really interesting one, okay? They fixed the Assassins Parry. So you know, stuff like the Warden's top crushing counter, that shouldn't be able to be parried, but Assassins, they have such a quick parry time that they are able to actually parry that goddamn thing if you were quick enough. It's pretty rare, pretty insane, but they've fixed it now so Assassins have the same parry timing as everyone else, so they can't do really weird shit like you know, parry people's crushing counters, which is fine in my books. And now for the hero balancing, okay? Now Shinobi got a buff in his health from 90 to 110, and his double dodge stamina cost has been reduced from 29 down to 24, but in return his double dodge kick and his backflip range has been decreased, so that way, you know, he's not just jumping and kicking you from a mile away, or, you know, just backflipping and you can't really do anything to stop him. So it's sort of a good change. They've buffed his health, they've made it so his double dodge kick, which is pretty much his main tool apart from light spamming, you know, he's able to use more often, but at the same time he has to be closer for it to work. I'm fine with all that. And now moving on to the Nordic Turtle himself, Mr. Warlord, they gave him a bit of a buff on several fronts. Now the devs admitted themselves that they went overboard in the lead piping of the Warlord. On my video though, when I said rip the Warlord, I had people trying to defend it saying, no, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. He got fucked hard, okay? There's no way of denying that, and the devs realized they went a little bit too far. So the big one is his headbutt timing has been put back to the pre-nerf, okay? So it's what it used to be. He's got his old headbutt back, which I saw a lot of people in chat freaking out because everyone fucking hated that shit. He's had his dodge recovery upped, okay, so that way he can, you know, be quicker on doing that. And he had a few points of damage increase across the board, so they have buffed him up quite a bit on several fronts, and they've reverted several things back to what they were, and they admitted that they went a bit too far in breaking the poor guy's legs. And now we get to the big thing. You have Centurion sitting on his throne of salt and tears. All the other heroes, they enter the room and they all have these robes on, okay, and everyone's sort of wondering what the fuck's going on. Then before you know it, Shigoki comes up and boom, lead pipe Centurion in the back of the head. He falls to the ground. As he gets up, he cops a Peacekeeper pipe to the face. Boom, he falls down again. Then everyone starts laying into him, and then he manages to fight them off just so slightly, and as he turns around, he's on the ground, he's bleeding. Roman steps up with the golden pipe in hand. He looks at Centurion, his baby. Centurion looks him back in the eyes, and Centurion says, "Et tu, Roman?" And then Roman goes, "I'm sorry, Centurion, I can't save you," and caves his fucking head in with a lead pipe. Boom! I said this in my R.I.P Warlords video, okay? I said once you start lead piping someone's always gonna be at the top. So when someone else is at the top, they get lead pipe, they go down, someone else rises to the top. Now Centurion's always been at the top, so you know, he's just been biding his time up there before he copped it, and Roman has been trying to save the guy for quite some time now. But the Centurion did receive some sizable nerfs. Now once again, just like the Warlord, people are trying to play it off and go, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. It's pretty bad if you're a Centurion, and I'm gonna get into why. I'm all for the nerfs, by the way. Centurion needs to be taken down a peg. He is a bit of a cancer in the game. I main Centurion in the past, and I still play him a bunch, so this is coming from a guy who plays him. I'm not sitting here going, don't nerf him, don't nerf him. Nah, nerf the shit out of him. That's fine because he's been up the top for ages, but I see something very bad that's gonna come out of this, and I'll explain that in a minute. But first, what got nerfed? So now Centurion's block defense starts longer after you faint, okay? So it's got a longer duration before it kicks in. His speed when you're out of stamina is reduced, okay? So you're gonna be moving slower so people can catch you and stuff. His charged heavy range has been decreased from 5 meters to 4.25 meters, okay? Now, that's pretty much, it is a nerf, but it's not that bad. It just means you're gonna have to get closer as a Centurion in order to land your unblockable heavies and stuff, which is fine. In 4v4s, you're usually close. It just means you can't, you know, stupidly track people from a mile away and just come flying in out of nowhere and stab him in the back. You have to be a bit closer. Now, his charged heavy finisher range has been reduced as well from 5.75 to 4.75. Once again, just have to be closer. But here is the big one, okay? His charged heavy finisher jab has been delayed by 100 ms. I'm not sure what effect this is going to have, especially if they're starting to, you know, up people's recovery times and stuff. But if that charged jab after the pinning heavy isn't guaranteed anymore, that's going to be a massive issue, okay? Because that's pretty much, yes, it sends the person into a cutscene, but that's pretty much one of the best things in his kit and one of the most reliable ways of getting damage in his kit. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And one of the biggest things that everyone loves is the fact that his jab will no longer stagger people against walls. So, you know, the whole wall splat combo thing is gone. It's dead. Not a thing anymore. You can jab people into walls as much as you want, and it's not going to stagger them anymore. Now, on the continued nerf train to the jabs, okay, his jab stamina drain has been decreased from 40 to 30. So his jabs aren't going to be draining your stamina as much. And here's another one as well, which I don't like this as much because this was more of a gameplay mechanic than an OP thing to begin with. But they've removed the stun effect on the Legion kick, okay? So before, when you'd stun someone, their vision would go blurry and they'd have to guess where your next attack was coming from. When the Legion kick was in its prime, that was a big issue because it was so goddamn easy to land that you were guaranteed to force them into a 50-50 every single time. But ever since the Legion kick had been nerfed, right now it's pretty hard to hit, okay? If you're just throw it out of nowhere and someone's actually watching you, it's very rare that you're going to hit them. So this just means that the Legion kick is going to be even more useless now than what it was before. At least before, if you hit them, you got the follow-up with the 50-50, which was kind of cool. But now that's all gone. And finally, Eagle's Talon's stamina cost is increased to 20 from 12. So overall, the Centurion's range is shorter. He's moving slower out of stamina. His jabs are a whole lot less effective and they do a whole lot less stamina drain. He can't wall splat anymore. Overall, the guy got lead pipe pretty damn hard. And this does have a bit of a knock-on effect, and that is the fact that Centurions now are going to be turtling 1,000 times more than what they already are. A turtle Centurion right now is really fucking bad. We're not getting the defensive meta stuff till season 4. That's confirmed. So we have a fair while before we get to that point where the defensive meta is no longer a thing. But now the Centurion, the fact that he has a shorter range and he has all these other basically nerfs to all his abilities and his stamina drain, that means he's just going to turtle up even more than he was before, and that is going to be a massive issue. And I can see this happening, okay? You take away a man's range and what he's going to do is just go sit there in his little bubble and he's just going to fuck people up as they get close to him. But like I said before, now that Warlord got nerfed, he got the lead pipe, and then Centurion Centurion got the lead pipe. Who's next? Because there has to be someone next. Someone's gonna rise to the top now that these two are gone. And how long until someone starts complaining about that person? And then once everyone complains about him enough, they're gonna cop the lead pipe to the knee. They're gonna fall down. Someone else is gonna take their place. Like I said before, whether it's high tier, middle tier, or low tier, they need to pick a point and they need to buff everyone or nerf everyone to that point. The whole buffing and nerfing characters all over the place never works, and that's why it keeps it in a constant state of unbalance. It will never work that way. The only way to get people close to each other balance-wise is you need to pick a point and then move everyone to that point and don't touch that point. So if you're picking low tier, so Kensei, okay, you want to move everyone down to Kensei's level by nerfing their abilities and stuff, but you don't touch Kensei, because that is the problem they have right now. They want to nerf someone at the top, and then as soon as they nerf someone to the top, they buff someone else up, and then they just keep going like that, and before you know it, it's never going to work. If I was in charge, like I said, I would pick a point. Either middle tier would be a good ground because it's middle tier for Christ's sake, or you'd pick high tier if you want everyone to be super overpowered and have like heaps of fun, because once again, when everyone's overpowered, no one's overpowered, so it's not that big a deal. Or you pick low tier, and once again, if everyone's low tier, no one's low tier. Just pick a point and balance everyone to that point. It's not that hard of a thing to do. It's an easy thing to do because you have a base point to go off, but it seems like they're fine with just nerfing one person, someone else rising to the top, lead piping that guy, he falls down, someone else goes up, and it's just this never-ending game of whack-a-mole. But I would love to see who is next on the chopping block, and who do you think is going to be next on the chopping block? Because the lead pipe, it thirsts. But that is all I have for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the Centurion changes? What do you think about the fact that Warlord has been buffed back up and he's not as shit anymore? And what do you think about all the other little things in the video? I would love to hear your thoughts on all this. And please share this video around. It helps me out a fuck ton. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys. If I bleed